Okay, I'm now with Debbie, the main organizer, shall we say, for Laguna Phuket Ironman, as well as the triathlon. So this must be one of the biggest, if not the busiest week of your year.
It certainly is, Grant. It's the busiest 2 weeks of the entire year for my whole department and many other people that are involved in the race.
This is the second year you've had it, isn't it, as well? The what's its full title?
The Ironman 70.3 Asia Pacific Championship. Yes, this is the second one.
It's called 70 because?
70.3 is the distance in miles.
Okay. Or 90 kilometres, is it? 90 kilometres for the bike.
Altogether it's about 124 kilometres.
Right. And it counts towards the Asia Pacific Championship? Is that right?
It is the Asia Pacific Championship. Yeah.
So it's a big event.
Yes.
And what do you do on the day? What's your main role?
My main role on the day is making sure everybody else is doing their job.
Delegate.
We oversee the pre-race check-in, the race start and the swim, and then while everybody's out on the bike, I actually don't have too much to do, just to make sure that the communication lines are all open, and if there's any emergencies I deal with that. And then I organise the finish line so that when the pros come across the finish line, the media all get their shots, and that's all handled professionally and safely.
Well, we're obviously recording this, but for our radio program listeners, on Sunday morning at 8 till 9, roughly where will they be now? What's the rough schedule? Obviously they've started to swim. But
the swim starts at 6:30. There's different waves. The pros will go off first. So the pros finish the swim in about 25 minutes. So they'll be out on their bikes by 7 o'clock. And we expect the bikes to be back in by about 10 past 9. So right now they're out there climbing the hills, and
it's quite a course.
Yes, they leave.
Show us and tell us where they're going.
They leave Laguna Beach Resort. Is down here. They leave Laguna Beach Resort. They go through Bandon towards Talang, but then they take some. They don't go into Talang. They take some small back roads and they cut through to this old airport road. We do a small loop up here through the rubber plantations. We come out at the Talang School, where we've built a ramp to a pedestrian bridge, and this is a very unique feature of our race. So the cyclists have to dismount and walk their bikes up the ramp, across the bridge, and walk back down the ramp before getting back on their bikes. Then they go in.
Is that safer than doing a U-turn like the cars have to do?
It is much safer than trying to get bikes across our 402 north-south highway. And then they go into these lovely small roads in Talang district, and we head up towards what I call the Mission Hills loop that comes out near the Mission Hills Golf Club, and it's very scenic here along the beach. Then they take this road, the 4027, towards what we refer to as the Supalai loop, or the Alpo Hills. So then they go inland, and there's some huge hills here, very steep, short hills. They go past Alpo Marina and back onto this main 4027 road. And then they head back and come back this way, back across the bridge, back to the old airport road, and then they head towards Naiton, and this is Naiton Beach over here, and they come back over the Naiton Hills in the reverse direction to the Laguna Phuket Triathlon course, and end up back at Laguna.
Okay.
And then they run around Laguna through the golf course and up towards Layan Beach, and they do two loops of the run course.
So for the public, if they want to go and watch, especially the bike race, is it easy either to follow, or is it safe? What's the best thing to do, and where would you recommend people go to watch them if they particularly want to see them on the bikes?
We would ask that people do not try to drive with the bikes. The police are out there trying to keep traffic off the course as much as possible. In certain areas we've got two-way bike traffic, so the roads should be completely closed. So there are a few different places where you could find a spot and park the car and watch. But we certainly don't encourage people to drive around the course. I think the best spectator experience is actually to come to the race venue early in the day. There's parking right opposite the race venue, which is at the Y junction on the way to Laguna Beach Resort. You get there before the race actually starts in the morning. We've got ferries taking people to the swim start at Laguna Beach Resort, so you can watch that. We've got ferries bringing people back to the race venue. There's going to be coffee shops and catering, and if you're at the race venue, you get to see people transition from the swim to the bike, go out on their bikes, and then you get to see them come back in from the bike and swap to the run. And because it's a looping run course, the runners go past the finish line and that transition area twice. So we've sort of set it up to make it so that spectators can basically be stationed at the race venue for the whole event and have a good time. And that's where there's music playing and the race announcers, working very hard to keep everybody entertained.
Right. So that transition area is the best one, as you say, near the finish.
That's correct. That whole area is where we want the spectators to be. There's grandstands, music, entertainment. There's an Ironman store that'll be opened.
So will they have a live link, like a commentator for, say, the leaders of the main races?
Yes.
To find out what's happening?
There's a few ways you can follow the race coverage. There's a radio station that's broadcasting it live. Plus, we have ironmanlive.com website. There will be like a blog. So we've got somebody that's got spotters out in the course, and she will be typing up live race updates online. So people all around the world can follow those updates. We also have live timing. So as athletes pass certain timing points, that's fed to a website. So somebody from back home in Australia or somewhere like that can type in the athlete's number and get live updates of their times on the course.
But at the transition area, they will have like a commentator reporting from around the course, around the bike and the run even.
Yes.
Because the run is still quite a long run too, isn't it?
Yes, 21k.
You got the map there. I mean, that's probably the most exciting bit because it's the last part.
Yes, and it's quite easy for spectators to get positioned along the run course and follow that. So they leave from the transition area near Laguna Beach Resort. They go through what we refer to as the Elephant Park, and then they run past Laguna Holiday Club Resort, and then we go through some of our real estate development, come back over the golf course, which is very scenic. They actually run through the Banyan Tree hotel property, and then they hit the beach road and run up towards Mantawan, and then back down through Laguna, past the wedding chapel, through Canal Village, back through the Elephant Park, and that's where they do their loop, and they do it all over again. So we have marching bands out there, and there's aid stations, and there's a lot of people, a lot of activity. It's very nice to watch down here through the Elephant Park where there's shade, and in Canal Village there's coffee shops and toilets and things like that.
Right. So roughly what time will the first runners be coming to the finish line, do you think?
The winners will finish about 10:30. So the race takes about 4 hours.
For the best ones.
For the best ones, and can take up to 8 hours for the slowest ones.
So
it's a very long day.
I say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe the last ones come through.
2 to 3 o'clock.
Right. And when do you have the presentation of the prizes? Do they do it there or?
No, we have an awards banquet at 6:30 on Sunday night.
Okay. So, it's a great event. I mean, this really is a huge event in its size and its numbers? How many numbers roughly? How many runners?
All together, we've got 1,000 individuals signed up to race on Sunday. Now, not that many people will show up on the day, but that's how many registrations we've sold to date. And on top of that, we've got 24 teams of 3 people. So more than 1,060. Wow.
So it's getting into the numbers now of the triathlon. How many did you have last week at the triathlon?
Similar numbers, not quite that much, just under 1,000.
So a lot of people come for both events now, and the whole Tri-Fest week.
About 125 people are doing both races, which is about 25 more. Last year we had about 100 people do both races. This year we've got about 125 people doing both races. And what we see is like people that competed last week deciding this week that they're either going to do the whole thing or trying to put a team together at the last minute. So people are very pleased with their successes last week and they want to continue.
They grab their family members or friends or supporters to make a team.
But asking somebody to cycle 90 kilometres and run 21 kilometres is a lot more than cycling 55 kilometres or 12 kilometres as they did last week.
Do they like this idea, and do they stay for the whole week then in general, those sort of people?
Yes. And the people that are coming to do the 70.3 are quite a different crowd to the regular crowd that comes to do the Laguna Triathlon. We've got a lot more people coming from long haul countries, a lot more Europeans, quite a number of Americans, a lot of Australians. So for Laguna Phuket Triathlon, we have the biggest group is from Hong Kong and then Singapore and of course Thailand. But for the 70.3, that all changes, and the numbers are quite large from the long haul markets, which is great for Phuket. That's we want the international visitors to come and stay because they do stay longer and spend more money when they're here.
And do they generally come with say more family and friends as well too?
Yes, they travel in groups. Yeah.
And this is peak time too, December, right? I mean, this is the highest occupancy period, is it?
Not quite yet, no. We timed the event to be early December because the first 2 weeks in December is always a little bit of a lull before the Christmas storm. So things tend to heat up mid-December, and then of course gets busier and busier towards Christmas and the New Year, and then into January and February, we're packed. So this we get the high season weather, but we've still got rooms available for the triathletes in early December and late November.
And you're raising money for your sort of survival swim campaign, isn't it? For teaching.
Yes, we are. We've undertaken a very ambitious program whereby we want to train at least 2,000 children, if not more. I think the age group is 12 to 15. But we're trying to put them through a basic survival swim training program to teach them how to float and how to tread water and how not to panic if they ever get into a situation where they could be potentially drown. So we've started this program in the last 2 weeks. The training's already underway. We had a target of 600,000 baht to raise. And we've asked the athletes to get sponsored and to help raise the money, and they've exceeded that target.
Wow.
So we're very, very pleased with the response.
So I guess in future you hope also some of those Thais also go on to join the triathlon and
that would be something. There's an Iron Kids race on Saturday morning over at Tanapura, and they've managed to get something about 80 to 100 Thai children from local schools to participate. So if we can start encouraging the youngsters to swim better and to get involved in this type of sport, we will see better swimmers.
Great. And also a busy time for Laguna. You got a new Angsana hotel that took over management from the Sheraton. Is that right?
Yes, the Angsana opened its doors yesterday. So they're very busy over there trying to get everything sorted out. But yep, the Angsana opened its doors yesterday. Angsana Laguna Phuket.
So how many hotels now in the compound, I call it, but it's complex or the...
There's 7 altogether.
Family. 7.
7 altogether. Laguna Beach Resort, Dusatani Laguna Phuket, Angsana Laguna Phuket, Banyan Tree Phuket, Outrigger Laguna Phuket Resort and Villas, Best Western Alamanda, and the Laguna Holiday Club Resort.
It's all ingrained in your mind. Is it going to get any bigger? Can it get any bigger?
Not in the near future.
But you've got your hands full anyway with these sports events.
Mm.
But you also, I know you're building another complex in Vietnam.
That's correct, yes. The first hotels will open in Vietnam in the middle of next year. That will be in Angsana and a banyan tree. And we've started selling property at that complex in Vietnam, which is basically modelled on Laguna Phuket. So, the plan is to build a collection of hotels there on a very beautiful site.
Right. So, the obvious question is, are you going to have a triathlon and an Ironman there as well? Is that too far ahead?
There has been talk of doing events at that particular destination resort, and we'll need to open a few more hotels, I think, before we look at doing any large scale events there.
All right.
Give me a few years.
And for yourself, Debbie, then what are you going to do? Are you going to stay here, or would you like to go to Vietnam, and are you ever going to run as well, or join in the actual race? I'd love to know that. There's a leading question.
I don't think I'll relocate to Vietnam.
No. To retire, maybe.
I'm not going to say on air that I will ever do a triathlon.
Really?
No. Somebody might hold me to it, so no, I'm not going to. It could happen, you never know, Grant, you never know.
Well, you've done a wonderful job all over these years. How many years have you been organising now? Is that too many to count?
16.
16, from the very beginning?
Or this could be 17, I'm starting to lose count. No, not from the very beginning. I missed the first one in 1994, so I started organising these events since 1995.
Wow. It must seem like a triathlon or a marathon to over those many years, yeah?
It runs pretty smoothly. I mean,
I mentioned marathon because you do that one as well in the middle of the year in June.
Yeah. No, things run very smoothly. We have fantastic event partners, Go Adventure Asia. They're very professional. They're very organised. There's a huge team of people involved, and they do, because we do it every year. They know what to do, and they get the job done very, very well.
Okay, so you can retire and relax. Know you've got a good team behind you. and then run and swim and ride. All right, better let you get on and organise the final details for this weekend, but good luck with another successful event. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you very much,
Cheers.